Back to Overwatch Oasis. We are here right in the middle of Week 12 with a great Tier 3 matchup today in Nova versus Tater-Pots. Nova looking to continue their excellent win streak they're on right now, beating a bunch of great teams like Diving Phoenix and Corgi. Tater-Pots on the other side of the coin, they're on a losing streak right now, and they're trying to get themselves back in this playoff picture. They still do have a chance. They're only 2 games back from the 8th place team right now, which is Valhalla. So they definitely have a chance here, and I am joined by my color commentator Toaster and the caster who is Kuro.
Yeah, another great week here in Tier 3, kind of what Kirby alluded to right there. This game is a big playoff game for both teams. Nova in the middle of the pack right here, trying to get to the upper echelon of Tier 3, can do it with a good decisive win here, as Tier 3 is very, very close. And like Kirby said, on the flip side, Tater-Pots as well. They are on the outside looking in of playoffs, but a big win here against a team like Nova not only builds momentum for them moving towards a hopeful playoff push, but also gets them considerably closer to clinching that 8th spot.
It's been an interesting season for Tater-Pots. Obviously, our 3rd place team last year went on an excellent winning streak during the regular season, but fell to Corgi in the semifinals. They've kind of had an interesting season where, obviously, they're 1-6, they are struggling, but they have also played a lot of great teams very close. You know, we saw them actually put up a pretty solid fight against Diving Phoenix, put up a solid fight against Pizza Planet. You know, like, it's interesting. Like, if a couple little things on certain maps go their way, we're looking at them being 3-5 and right there in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're definitely a team that their record does not actually reflect the performance they've put out, especially coming into the season losing players like Wegsy and Polish to the new form Tier 2. So definitely a team to look out for here. Can make this deep playoff push, maybe be the summit of this season, and it all has to start here though against Nova.
3, 2, 1.
So here we go. See, Tater-Pots, they're going to run with that classic Ryan Zarya that they've liked to run. McBrantis has actually shown some great things on tank, was mainly a healer and DPS player, but can't play healer right now. So now here we go. Both teams on the point. Here, this Chicky trying to get swings in, as is Rigamortis. Organic Kale is the first to fall here, but USF Chicky gonna try and find a pin. Does not really find it. Chase Swanson finds one. Looks like the picks are going in favor of Nova, and they will capture the point. They will go aggressive on Rigamortis, who also falls.
Yeah, definitely a good fight here. Good initial pick by Safety Foam, as you do see Sidomi here is going to chase Swanson. It's basically back to spawn, and they're going to take this early hold. So, one interesting storyline that we see here is that the GOAT is actually back after not playing since, I think, Season 2. He's a pretty solid player, I believe, for passive-aggressive Raptors, so it'll be good to see how he does here on the Moira. Yeah, big pin right there by Chicky onto Rigamortis to get that initial opening pick, but does give her life for it in return. So now you have both teams here dueling without a shield tank. The off tank here in this scenario, D.Va and Zarya are going to be crucial to keeping their team up.
So here comes the Graviton Surge and the Dragons out from Chase Swanson. There's 2 with the Grav Dragons, and the rest of the picks are going in favor of Tater-Pots. They will be able to capture the point here, but Nova able to get it to 52%, and they have a lot of ults on the way.
Yeah, I think you see Tater's using 2 ults right there. Big ult combo gone right there. But you also do see USF Chicky having a gigantic lead in the Shatter department right here. So maybe that's an ult right there they can initiate with and essentially win a fight with, while also keeping their big ults in the bank.
Ooh, USF Chicky does get taken down. Chase Swanson, been one of the best DPS players this season, and no doubt putting up another great performance with a nice headshot onto the GOAT. And it looks like Nova, they're gonna continue to back up here, but they do have all 6 ults ready for this next team fight.
Yeah, I think if you're them right here, you want to get, you do have the ult advantage, so you want to initiate with something as you do see bomb come in.
Yeah, Yeah, that's not gonna find anything, and Shadow doesn't really find a whole lot either. In fact, McBrantis with the immediate double kill. AJ not finding much on the soldier here. Both support ults were popped by Tater-Pots. Still several ults that Nova can use, but now we see Tater-Pots, they take the lead in terms of percentage.
Yeah, and I just think a miscommunicated combo right there as they look for a bomb shatter possibility, and Rigamortis did a great job just backing his team into that small room on the left and essentially negating any damage from that bomb as well as any angle for Chicky to get that shatter. So good job on their part by baiting out two massive, well, three with the visor.
AJ used that opportunity using the tac visor to swap to Pharah. Might be a good choice as Tater-Pots don't really have a good hit scan. Hanzo can maybe get the job done, but he's already down. Elixamori gonna try and pour some salt in the wound with the tire, finds both of the supports. This is looking all too good for Nova. The GOAT gonna pop the Coalescence as well. Safety Foam is able to hold on to the sound barrier, but Tater-Pots, they did make it to 99%, and they have several ults coming up here.
Yeah, the win or loss of this map here is going to be on the back of Safety Foam here. That beat has to be massive because you have to think they're going to go for a Grab Dragons here. And Chicky needs to block this shatter in case beat does come through. Because they essentially, Tater-Pots needs to do an ult party here and win this point if the beat's not massive.
But look at all this damage being pumped in inside Domia, able to eat McBrantis' grab. Chase Swanson still throws in the dragons and finds one. That was a nice shatter from Rigamortis. Elixamori though with a triple kill might be able to save this fight for their team. And Chase Swanson going down, only McBrantis left on the point at 93%. This is looking all too good for Nova. Organic Kale though, coming in with the Coalescence, gonna try and turn this around, but gets taken out by Sidomia. A lot of members of Nova are particularly low, but look at how many ults are coming online. Sidomia throwing in the Diva Bomb, is able to take out Kenny. AJ gonna probably put an exclamation point with the Barrage as well as Chicky using the Shatter, and that will be it. Nova taking a very close village here.
Yeah, I think Nova wins that fight. Yes, Sai did eat that dragons right there, but Chicky, not dragons, Sai did eat that grab, but Chicky did still fall to the dragons right there, so I think that beat by Safety Foam really was the winning factor for him right there. Still was able to get their whole team before the team got shattered, so I believe that beat ended up saving herself on the pin from Rigamortis as well as the rest of her team from the follow-up on by Tater-Pots.
So, we are going to see Chase Swanson going to swap to, let's see, we'll see maybe the Ashe coming out here, maybe for more hit scan to try and counter AJ's Pharah, but AJ's Pharah will not exist this time around. He's going to go on the Ashe, has been very good on Ashe this season. We're also going to see some double shield coming out from Sidomia using Chicky.
Yeah, I like seeing Chicky back in this Orisa here. That is her comfort hero and something she's thrived with here in Tier 3.
Here we go, Rigamortis trying to get aggressive, but Bullet Dodgers gets immediately headshotted by AJ. He's so good at getting those opening picks. Rigamortis trying to stay aggressive though, actually using Chicky's almost down. Nice fire strike from Rigamortis to take out the main tank. We'll see. Ooh, go with a sneaky res though. Safety Foam is down. Elixamori finds one as well. Both of these Lucios are down. But here we go, Chase Swanson finds two with the dynamite. And it looks like we will see Tater-Pots, they did cap the point, but they will overall win the fight as well.
Yeah, and you can see that Chase really carried that fight on the, I guess, defending side there by Tater-Pots. You do see a massive ult advantage lead by him. 75 to his Bob compared to AJ's 41% now, so you do on the side of Nova have to know that Bob is coming here soon, so you need to have some plan in order to either CC him out, shield him out, or something.
It's incredibly interesting from Tater-Pots. They actually did not start off with the sim, but Bullet Dodgers comes back and they do have the point, so they're able to set up like they would have if they had started off with it. And US of Chicky didn't quite get the feel from their team. They get bursted down right away. Even more picks on the side of Tater-Pots. That will be another team fight victory as they approach 50% here on Shrine.
Yeah, and I like the sim switch here because it does switch Chicky off for comfort hero of the Orisa and forces Sai onto the D.Va instead of that Sigma. So double shield being so strong as it is, that switch to sim forced Nova off it at a fear of keeping that sim high charge. So interesting to see now what Nova does push in wise here, but Sidomia needs to target those turrets so it's just going to keep chewing away as they try to enter through this main gate.
Both of these Ashes have their bobs ready, but Rigor Mortis has the Shatter as Chicky does not, just switch to the Rhine. AJ gonna initiate with their bob. Mixamori finds one with the tire, but Chase Swanson takes out the Mercy, no res available. Nice Shatter from Rigor Mortis, able to pin Safety Foam. Organic Kale gonna throw in the Coalescence for good measure. Once again, it looks like Tater-Pots are gonna win this fight, and we're at 93%. Are we even gonna see another touch from Nova?
I don't think so. If you do, Bob's gonna reject it right here, which, yeah, Bob goes in here and it cancels any chance they have of recontesting. Big right there on Chase on the Ash to really zone out a lot of the team. I do think a lot of that, though, a lot of the success of Tater-Pots is on the back of that Symmetra pick right there by Bullet. I think that forced them to forego some also getting close to on that tank line to immediately go to that Rhine D.Va at almost over 50% on that point in time on the point cap charge. So made them forego ults and put Nova at a very big ult deficit going into those final couple fights.
Perhaps they did, you know, prepare playing on that map with the double shield, and to have them have to kind of improvise there. They weren't able to get the value that they were hoping they would get with the double shield. So now we are gonna kind of see double shield again from Nova here, except a very unorthodox double shield with the Winston Orisa. Gonna see double shield also from Tater-Pots, but they have the normal Orisa Sigma. Both of these teams on the point side. Nomia trying to find a dive target, putting in a lot of cleave damage here. That's 35% to his ult, but has to get away. Affected by that dynamite. Good for now. Bullet Dodger's able to take out Safety Foam. That's a lot of healing down on the side of Nova, but Organic Kale is down too, so both of these teams down their Moira. Looks like we're gonna see Nova maybe try and back up as Tater-Pots do get the point. AJ finds a pick though, so we'll have to see. And oh no, AJ, the mistake accidentally falling off the edge. That's gonna make this next push for Nova have to take a little bit longer than I think they'd want.
Yeah, I think you see Sidomia come out on this Winston because of the sim being in their head last game. But I'm curious why you stick on Winston here. I mean, Primal can get big boot potential, but you have really no set dive targets, especially with Chase playing close to his team. There's really no one on the side of Pots to dive.
So there you go, they're trying to dive on Organic Kale, able to rake back to the team. Mixamori does find the opening pick. The free Chase Swanson is down. That's a lot of long-range poke damage down from the Tater-Pots. Kenny McCormick not going to be able to find a res. Nova getting the pickoffs right now. Organic Kale trying to turn it around with Coalescence, gets stunned out of it, and with US of Chicky taking out Rigor Mortis, it looks like Nova will take this point now with 53% built up for the Tater-Pots.
Yeah, so on the side of Tater-Pots, though, he did a good job, though, baiting out two ults, I believe, on the side of... two, maybe three ults on the side of Nova. And you still have a decent ult advantage on your side, only using Organic Kale's Coalescence right there. Definitely just want to take this next fight slow, get an early pick here, and it should be your fight for
We are going to see them not go slow. McBrant is immediately opening with the Riveting Flux. Here comes the tire. Mortality Field won't be able to save them as Bullet Dodgers gets the 4K. Patience pays off for Bullet Dodgers. AJ able to find one, but they won't be able to get out alive, and Tater-Pots taking it right back. Looking in possibly a good position to take this first map here.
Yeah, and that was, Mac Brandis was the hero on that one. He said, I'll use my ult, bait out that inward. Mine won't be flashy, but yours will be. So bait out inward, let that run out with the Gravitic, and then Bullet cleaned up there with a big tire.
Yeah, you have that small window when you're in the Immortality Field to try and take out that tire, but sometimes it's just not enough time. So Great job from McBrantis to get that Immortality Field out early. Sinomia trying to dive in here, pops the Primal Rage, trying to displace members of Tater-Pots, especially right here in the room. With Mori actually on a nice flank, able to find one. So here we go, 2 picks in favor of Nova, and they also take out Bullet Dodgers, and without the possibility of a res from Kenny, it looks like they will retake the points, although Organic Kale trying to commit to this. The Coalescence not going to be able to find anything. Bob and the AJ will get the rest of the cleanup, and Nova still have a chance on this map, but they're going to have to bring it back 50% in order to take it.
Yeah, Nova looked a little bit panicky right there. They did use every single ult except for Coalescence, which is going to be up. And then on the opposite side of Tater-Pots, you have both DPS ults up, as well as your Bongo, and probably can get McBrantis' Gravitic here pretty quickly.
They did take out Chase Swanson early, which forces the res from Kenny to the corner. So here we go, Safety Foam going to try and go aggressive with this Coalescence. Actually, no, we'll take more of a backseat onto the point. Tater-Pots just gonna wait it out, and here comes Bullet Dodgers coming in with the tire, gets taken out by USF Chicky, but still the supercharged Bob is coming out here on the side of Tater-Pots. We see Nova, they're trying to back into this room, and actually Alexa Mori finds the opening pick. What a rotation here from Nova to limit the damage. Bob does find one under the goat, and here McBrantis with the Gravitic Flux only really gets Sidomia, who is able to pop a Primal Rage, and here we go, 1 fight territory, and nice Primal Rage from Sidomia, able to knock off Rigor Mortis and take out Organic Kale. Sidomia, excellent play here at the end of Nepal, looks like it will give Nova the map.
Victory.
Yeah, Nova is going to take that map. 2-1 will take the series lead here, 1-0. Weird strat by them with that Orisa Winston, but ended up paying off for them, especially in the face of having massive ults on the side of Tater-Pots. Chicky, though, really coming up big right there by breaking down that tire of, I believe it was Bullet Dodgers, before it could get any value. With that tire being shut down, they also killed Bullet in the animation of using tire, and then just kind of steamrolled from there. Really was, I'm assuming, looking for a much bigger value out of that tire. Chicky shut it down, and it seemed, I think, just went to Nova's favor after that.
So now we'll have to see, what does Tater-Pots want to do? They actually do have a lot of subs on the bench this time around. That's actually been kind of one of the things with even last year when it was the Tater-Pots and Tier 2. They actually did not have a lot of players come to each game. You know, they'd maybe have like 7 or 8, and sometimes they literally just had the 6 that they had, and you know, they were able to find some success with it. But now here we go, they have 5 people on the bench. They have a lot of people that they can come back in with and give this team some new looks, whereas Nova only has J-Rod on the bench, although they have a lot of players that can flex to, let's say, healer. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Yusuf Chicky go in for the GOAT and then J-Rod come in to play tank.
Yeah, you do have the 2 sides here. You have Tater-Pots with a massive amount of people and Nova with very few tonight. I do think, though, Nova has benefited as of recent with this smaller roster. It seems like their synergy has been really gelling together as of recent, and that they've played very, very well, as you've mentioned, with their win streak right now. So I don't think them having few people here is an issue for them. I think they're pretty content with the 6, 7, 8 people they usually roll with. But yeah, on the side of Tater-Pots here, you can definitely get some switches in here to maybe throw Nova off. I mean, the first map was very, very close, so still definitely a big winnable game for these guys.
A couple notable players that are missing from Nova. We see Rusha Rose, who's been kind of a breakout DPS player this season, can play a lot of different heroes like the Hanzo, has shown some success on the McCree. I think also plays some Junkrat, although Alexa Mori is usually the one that they call in to play Junkrat. And of course their newest acquisition, Moonlight Omega, who sadly can no longer play DPS in Tier 3, but played really well last week against Korihor on that support role, was playing some Ana and was hitting some massive nades and great sleeps. It's great performance from Moonlight Omega.
Yeah, no, definitely a couple pieces that they would want to have here. But I mean, you do see here the five in right now for five of the people in for Nova right now. I think are pretty much the Nova from season like 1 or 2, if I'm remembering, like some of the main original Nova people. So a lot of synergy there with them.
I want to say Yusuf Chiki, Alexa Mori. I guess if Token Panda was here, I think those are 3 that are still from that original roster. But yeah, back in season 2, this looked pretty similar. They had Sidomia.
Safety foul, I believe. Was AJ on the season 2 team? I believe.
Yes, at the beginning, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe you are correct. He was.
So definitely a lot of synergy.
Or were they still on Passive Aggressive Raptors in season 2? And I think Safety Foam was as well. For the majority of season 2, and then they came like late season 2 and came a main roster fixture in season 3.
You're probably right. I would side with you on this one. But yeah, we're just waiting on swaps from them as Tater-Pots does get us the swaps. I don't know if Nova's going to be making any of this map. We will see.
So we are going to see the debut of Naya here. Feels bad, gonna come in here. Has had a couple breakout performances here as of late, and as Belia also coming in has actually shown some nice things, playing some Lucio as well as Moira, so perhaps these are the switches that can get Tater-Pots back in this series.
Yeah, I think right now with Feels Bad and Chase as a DPS lineup here for Tater-Pots, I think that puts you in a very good spot. I know Feels Bad played some good DPS last season for Tater-Pot. Well, I guess it was bots back then, but played some good DPS for them last season as well. I know he plays, I believe, pretty good Pharah, and Widow is what I remember him playing, but things change.
Yes, Widow, Pharah, and then I think his main hero is kind of that Junkrat that can maybe put a stop to what Alexa Mori is doing, because I think you would rather have bullet dodgers on a McCree. He can also play the Pharah as well, so maybe not a comfort pick from bullet dodgers, whereas Feels Bad, if they want him to play the Junkrat, that will be more of a comfort pick for him.
Yeah, and you can, with Feels Bad and to play that Junkrat, that projectile hero, you can keep Chase on the things that we've seen him really stand out with, those massive hit scan plays. So I think this is a really scary DPS lineup in here for Tater-Pots. Rigor Mortis as well, playing very, very good on the Rhine last map. I think actually showed glimpses of possibly being the better main tank, especially whenever it came down to Rhine. So I'll be anxious to see on these escort map, well, I guess hybrid maps, where you do see Rhine come into play more a lot here in Tier 3, if he still carries some of that momentum and can be a big difference maker for them here on Eichenwald. As we are just waiting on a couple clerical things here to finish up.
We are going to see J-Rod come in here for USF Chicky, and we are actually going to see... Oh, Rusha Rose is apparently going to come in here. Are they in the lobby? Yes, they are now officially in the lobby, so Rusha will be available, coming in to play with AJ.
Girl, Alexa needs to just be spectating blue. Yep, so you will see Rusha come back in here. Not come back in, but come in this map. I believe they've, from what I remember, pretty good Tracer player from what I've seen. of them, but also just I think they carry that Genji Ashe as well. I think a fairly similar hero pool to AJ in that regard. So be curious to see what they decide to go with.
We do like to see when J-Rod comes in, they like to run a lot of that Rhine Diva. Last week we saw Sidomia maybe put on one of the best Diva performances of the season, had multiple eats on those last few maps, and some big ultimates too, ate a Blizzard, ate a couple grabs. Like, it was a great performance from Sidomia, who was actually originally known for that Diva back in Season 1, was one of the best players back in, well, originally Tier 2 obviously, but Tier 3 is kind of what we refer to it now, so you know, it's good to see him back on that original role that he was so well known for at the beginning, because he's kind of, in Season 2 and 3, he played a lot more DPS for these teams.
Yeah, Sai back on that Diva can be a big thing for them with J-Rod coming back in. However, though, I do, in this meta right here, I would like to see Sai on that Sigma. I feel like Sigma does provide a lot of value, especially here on Eichenwald, especially pushing through that first choke and defending first choke actually on the defense and both the attack. I feel like Sigma's is just in such a good spot right here. You can really throw that shield up there to protect AJ or Rusha on that Ashe, or you can swap shields with J-Rod to make it almost impossible for teams to push through without getting that initial pick. So it'll be interesting to see what they run here. I just think, personally, I think Sigma's in such a better spot than Diva that even if your comfort pick is Diva, that Sigma may be a pretty strong alternative here, especially on Eichenwald.
You are correct. A lot of teams have been liking that double shield, especially on the defense. There's a lot of really nice pivot points on this map that you can use. A lot of interesting chokes that can be kind of tough, especially with kind of the vertical aspect of this map. So we'll have to see how the Tater-Pots will attack. That's kind of been the more interesting story that we've seen with a lot of these teams and what they run on Eichenwald. You know, if they want to, you know, go with more of a rush comp with the Lucio to get to point really quickly, or if they want to try and match that double shield, maybe they go with the Pharah because you have so much open air. Maybe you go long range snipers because you can play that on Eichenwald just because of the long sight lines. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if Chase wants to play like an Ashe or a Widow, and maybe we'll see if Feels Bad either play the Junkrat or maybe bust out the Pharah here.
Yeah, I would love to see, I think, here on the side of Tater-Pots, I think depending on what Nova runs, if Nova does decide to forego that double shield, especially on Streets phase, well, the Streets phase aspect of this one, on defense, I would love to see Chase on that Widow, possibly, because I do think sightlines are just incredible here for Widowmaker, especially if they don't have that double shield to constantly block the sightlines of the Widow. You pretty much get free reign unless you have a counter Widow on the other side, and if AJ runs that Ashe, unless getting damage boosted, Chase is not in any chance of getting one shot. So I would love to see a possible Widow or a double sniper even defensively from Tater-Pots. And then on Nova, I think the best strat to go through with this point one is either take it double shield and go slow, or you just, like you said with the Lucio, you just bum rush point. You just go as fast as you can and just take the fight immediately to them. Because if you just sit with like a Rhine Diva or something in that initial choke, you're just gonna get melted down. It's a tough thing to sit and have that slow fight if you don't have a double shield. As we are just waiting, I think, on a couple more things here before we get this second map underway. We're lucky though. I guess the other two games, well, I guess one being casted, one being just hosted right now by a mod. a lot of people have been getting kicked from the Overwatch server tonight. Had a couple
Interesting.
people in both games get DC'd and not able to log back into Overwatch. So, knock on wood, that's not hit us yet this game.
Yeah,
So
let's
thankfully,
hope,
not us.
yeah, let's hope that does not happen. You know, it's always a possibility. We will give these teams a 3-minute pause, of course, to try and get back in, but it's one of those things. It just kind of, you know, we saw it. We casted the what was it? The Tantalizers
Valhalla.
Valhalla game. Yeah, we saw they were attacking on Eichenwald and they were doing really well, and then Zanny Boy disconnected, not able to come back into the game, and their attack got stifled. And I mean, by the time they got on defense 5v6, there's really no chance. So it's one of those things that you hope you don't see. Luckily, this season so far, we have been actually relatively stable with the leaves and pauses and stuff. We haven't had to do it as much as in seasons past, especially season 2. I remember it felt like every single game we had someone disconnecting.
Yeah, it does not seem to be as bad this season. Overwatch seems to have figured their stuff out here with the DCs and whatnot. So thankfully, it's not struck us yet. But who knows with these servers from time to time, they have a mind of their own.
Couldn't have put it better myself. So it's interesting. We saw this first map being close. We'll have to see, because Tater-Pots, you know, they're actually known to being like an attack-oriented team on these more escort-style maps. Like last year, it felt like every single time they were completing all 3 points on hybrid escort and capping both points on 2CP. So, you know, it's going to be one of those things where Nova might have to find some unique ways to shut down this team on the defense. You know, the Tater-Pots, they have struggled on control this year. In fact, oh wow, listen to this. They have not won a single control map this season.
It's okay. I don't like control either. Tater-Pots, it's fine. That I would honestly, I think in every league team I've played for, every league game I've played in, never won a single control map. It is absolutely my least favorite map type and my kryptonite. I don't know what it is, but it feels like I can never get a good fitting on a control map ever.
Yeah, that was even the case last year, where a lot of times, like, Tater-Pots, or Tater-Bots last year, obviously, like, they actually had fairly convincing wins some of the times because of how well they did on the last 3 maps, but it was always, you know, a somewhat close game just because they would frequently lose that control map. So we'll have to see if there's a time to come back in the series. It's now on Eichenwald. We actually did see them take Eichenwald from Pizza Planet in their game last week. Tater-Pots, they had some good moments and some not so good moments in that game against Pizza Planet, but certainly they can take some of what they did on Eichenwald and hopefully replicate that here.
Yeah, and now here we do get to go on the second map, Eichenwald, here with Nova up 1-0 after a very, very, very close Nepal map.
Yeah, that one really came down to the wire. I mean, it's the difference between maybe a half a second where Bullet Dodgers could have detonated that tire, and one bullet that Yusuf Chahi was able to hit there that took it out. So, like, if that's how close this series is going to be, we might be in for a classic here today. And I was kind of thinking, you know, obviously Nova being the favorites here as the team higher in the standings, I actually thought that there was maybe some slight upset potential, because we do see, you know, Chase Watson and Feels Bad, they can play, they can pop off at times, and, you know, they could definitely hold their own against AJ and Rusha or whoever plays DPS for Nova here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think every game is very winnable for Tater-Pots. I mean, if you look at their record, they have a -10 map differential, but that's better than 2 teams above them. I mean, I don't think their record reflects them at all, so there's always upset potential here for them in this game.
So here we go. We are going to see Naya going to replace McBrantis on that Zarya. So Tater-Pots, they're going to continue with that Ryan Zarya. They are going to kind of play a bit of a rush brawly comp with the Genji. Chase Watson has shown some nice things on Genji this season with AJ with a nice opening headshot playing that Ashe. Like you said, they are going to go with the sniper here on defense, which is what you can do. Rushro is going to be on that Junkrat. We'll take out Rigor Mortis, and the DPS just kind of cleaning up here. Tater-Pots gonna have to back up for the time being.
Yeah, I do like this though, this DPS lineup they're running with this Junk Genji. If you can get Genji out in a flank here with the new buffs, he can do a lot of damage and get those backline picks pretty easily. So it is a lost fight here, first push for them, but definitely to keep slow building these ults for some big combos here.
You see Rusha Rose currently leading the ult battle in terms of the Riptide. Will likely get theirs first. Alexa Mori is playing healer instead of Yosef Chinky like I was maybe thinking. Gonna pop the Coalescence here. Rusha Rose able to build up that tire. Here it comes. Able to take out Rigor Mortis. Fight isn't necessarily over yet though, especially as Chase Watson approaches that blade. But with Naya going down as well as feels bad, it looks like they're going to have to wait to use that blade for the next fight. Maybe they will combo it with the Graviton Surge.
Yeah, you do see Chase get a late pick here onto AJ that will force the res out for Nova. So no res for them for a while. You do have Blade and Grav here. Surprising not to see an Ana played here though with the Genji's Nano Blade is such a powerful combo right now with Genji's buffs, but you will see them pushing with a lot of ults. But you do have that Diva Bomb from Sidonia that could just essentially zone out anything right here for them.
Here we go, they boost right through the choke, going on the side of the rubble, but J-Rod takes out Kenny McCormick. J-Rod did use the Shatter, gets taken out, here comes Sidonia's bomb. Pretty much all the ults coming out from Tater-Pots. Chase Watson actually did not really find anything with the blade, and Feels Bad only found one with the tire, and it was a Mechless Diva. AJ kind of cleaning up here, and that's a tough push there for Tater-Pots, using almost all of their ults and getting essentially nothing.
Yeah, good news though for Tater-Pots here. They do almost have that beat from Kenny that can counteract this Riptire from Rusha here. So if they can live through that tire with a good beat, ult economy's basically reset, and they can Tater-Pots have a chance to take this. But Nova definitely in the driver's seat on this map right now.
Rusha Rose was almost taken down, and a little fake out here. Now they're going to take that other rotation. The car, but here comes Rusha Rose. A nice time beat from Kenny McCormick. Just like you said, could use that to counteract the tire, but Rusha Rose still able to find the pick, and AJ getting so much damage with those dynamites. Rigor Mortis able to take him out, but that will be rezzed by the goat, and only 30 seconds left. We're going to need to see someone turn this around for Tater-Pots, so they're going to need to back up and go for one more fight, which is looking like what's going to have to happen here.
Yeah, unfortunately, really no ults. You might build this Grav, you might build the Coalescence here, you probably build the Coalescence, but you're pushing into what should be a Shatter, what should be a Bob, and possibly a Bomb here. So some big zoning ults on the side of Nova. Oh, and that Riptire, yeah, that's coming up here very quickly.
This is going to be tricky, but they have all 6 here. Can they find a pick off? Can Chase Watson come up big? J-Rod, not going to really find anything with the Shatter, actually, and here comes Bob. Here comes Rusha Rose with the tire. Does find one Graviton Surge from Naya, not really able to find anything. Feels Bad, only takes out 1.5 with the tire. Only Kenny McCormick and Chase Swanson here on point. Probably not going to survive for too much longer. And Nova, they get the full hold here.
Yeah, very, very good job right there by Nova. Using their ult fairly defensively right there. Rusha using the tire very well to to kind of counteract any value they could really get from that grab by throwing it directly into the grab when it was used. Rigamortis, though, on the side of Tater-Pots, doing a great job of winning, I think, these Rhine duels. I believe blocked 2, if not 3, of J-Rod's Shatters. Unfortunately, not a lot of value on his side for Shatters either, but really did negate some good push opportunities there from Nova. Just unfortunately, Nova's DPS just built ults incredibly quickly right there, especially Rusha, and made it almost impossible for the side of Tater-Pots to get in unscathed.
You almost wonder if maybe Tater-Pots, if they could have used a sniper character, because AJ was remaining relatively uncontested there, up on the high ground, was getting so much value. They might have died once or twice, but I think they were rezzed every time they died, so here we go. We're gonna see kind of a double shield bunker-ish setup here from Tater-Pots with the Mei. We are gonna see pretty much the same comp here out from Nova, except they're gonna go with the Baptiste, since they have a lot of healing, and AJ gonna go with the more offensive-oriented sniper in the Hanzo.
Yeah, and if you're Nova here, you just have to build up a couple good ult combos to hopefully take a tick on this point. And if you're Tater-Pots, you have to play very passively here and let the fight come to you, especially with that Mei on your side.
Oh no, and feels bad. Gets bursted down right away. There is a res available, but it might be in an unresable spot, and with J-Rod getting the fire strike onto Rigamortis, this is looking all too good for Nova. Naya caught in the trap, and only Kenny McCormick here on that map. Not able to survive for too long, and Nova, they take the 2-0 lead here on a definitely more one-sided affair here on Eichenwald than it was on Nepal.
Yeah, definitely a more one-sided map right there, as you do see Rusha in his play of the game. Played very well on this Junkrat. I think this might be the one right here where I think she counteracts it. It's another grab, maybe? I don't know. No, not this one. But no, definitely much more one-sided on the side of Nova here. Tater-Pots still had some signs of possibility right there, had some glimmers of greatness on their side, but unfortunately map did not go their way. So pushing into this third map here, you have to play for the reverse sweep if you are Tater-Pots, because a loss here takes a big cut into your playoff chances moving forward.
Yeah, this is kind of the point where we start to talk about, you know, early in the season, we're like, oh, they can make a late season run. Well, now we are in the late season, so if you don't start making that run now, you probably won't have enough time to make the comeback, and it is looking grim for these bottom 4 teams. You know, they have been struggling a lot lately, and Valhalla kind of getting up there into that 8th spot could really separate themselves and kind of set the playoff picture in stone here relatively quickly in the season.
Yeah, and you do see, like you mentioned though, this bottom half really not bottom half, but the bottom part of this Tier 3 really struggling as of recent, but it's still very much up for the taking here, as you do see the bottom. You have Valhalla there in 8th, Duck Duck Dive, We the Ops, Tater-Pots, and I think even Tantalizers are all still with playoff chances here, especially, I mean, you have to be feeling good if you're Tater-Pots. If you do win here, with a team like Duck Duck Dive, who just lost Gamer's Blood this week, and We the Ops here on a struggle, it puts you right only one game there behind Valhalla. So if they slip up over the next couple weeks, it's definitely still a playoff opportunity for you.
And yeah, even Valhalla have played a lot of their easier games so far this season. I think they still have a game against, I think they still have one against Nova here, which will be a tricky game. They have one against Pizza Planet, which should be a good battle, and I think their other game is against Diving Phoenix. No, they've played Diving Phoenix. White Walkers, I think.
Yes, Valhalla ends the season with, White Walkers, Pizza Planet, and Nova. That is correct.
That's going to be a tough schedule there. So, it is actually interesting. Perhaps, we spoke too soon. All these teams certainly still have a chance, although Duck Duck Dive definitely have a tough matchup this week against White Walkers, as does We the Ops. They're battling Corgi Core, who did look actually pretty solid against Nova last week. It was actually a very close game, as those games always seem to be. That was a rematch of the Season 2 finals. They always seem to have a great game.
Yeah, and Corgi Core is definitely a team that no matter if they look up or down, you ever sleep on them. I mean, they're back-to-back champions for a reason. So definitely not an easy matchup for anybody going into them in these last couple weeks as they're looking to bolster their resume for the playoffs.
So we'll have to see. It looks like we're going to see Safe Foam come back in here. Like Samori also going to move back to DPS. AJ's going to go to the bench, and we are going to see J-Rod and Chicky, which may mean that they might want to go with some double shield here, especially on defense. Might want to play that Ryan or Rissa, or perhaps I'm trying to think if J-Rod plays like a Sigma themselves, because then they could also play like the Orisa Sigma. So it'll be interesting to see what they want to run here, if they want to go with the double shield.
Yeah, I think you do want to go with this double shield here if you are Nova on Hanamura, because you do have Chicky on her comfort here with that Orisa that she does play very, very well. J-Rod, I'm assuming you'll keep on the Rhine, maybe flex a Sigma. I don't think we've seen him play that before, but definitely not out of the realm, I'm sure, as this Nova team. Pretty much anybody can flex to almost anything. But then my question is here, I think you would have Rusha maybe switch that hit scan roles. You do have Rusha play projectile last map, but you have Vanna coming in now, who I believe is usually their typical Junkrat, May, projectile type player.
Yeah, I imagine that we would maybe see Rusha playing the McCree, if anything, has played some pretty great McCree this season so far. Can play the Hanzo as well for some long-range sniping. Obviously, that's not hit scan, but as we see, I think Feels Bad and Chase Swanson are gonna stay in the lineup here. They did not really give any indication that they're gonna play Pharah today.
Yeah, but it is 2CP. I don't count anything out of 2CP. You see the weirdest compositions that somehow work on these 2CP maps, so I would not be surprised if you see a Pharah or something pulled out here from Tater-Pots. I would say more likely to have it on the attack as opposed to the defense. I feel like Pharah is a very risky choice on defense because of the spawn advantage. If you do die that first time, it's usually a lost fight there for your team.
We're going to see a couple of subs for the Tater-Pots as well. McBrantis coming back in, probably to play Zarya's been pretty much playing mostly Zarya for this season. They have been quite good at it, as we have mentioned in the past. But the bigger story is we have Organic Kale and Coach Preacher Dad coming in to play support. Organic Kale has kind of been their main healer support, playing like the Moira, playing maybe a little bit of I think they play a little bit of Lucio every once in a while. But then we also see Coach Preacher Dad, who has a really great Baptiste up their sleeves. So maybe these healer switches will allow them to play some different stuff, because they kind of were forced onto those Moira, Lucio comps. They're kind of on that first map, as those are the heroes that Kenny and Isbelia are usually the most comfortable on.
Yeah, but interesting to see what both teams decide to go here with. I would love to see a double shield out of both sides, but honestly, the way Rigor Mortis has been playing on the Reinhardt, I don't think you want to take Rigor Mortis off the Reinhardt. So if you're going to run a double shield, be a different one with that Rhine Sigma, but you will see them keep with the Rhine Zarya here.
Yeah, this is the tank lineup that they've kind of been running with a lot these past few weeks, especially since Bullet Dodgers is kind of swapped to playing more DPS, was kind of their main tank there at the beginning of the season. We're going to see J-Rod actually play the... Okay, they are going to go with the Orisa Rein, which is exactly what I was thinking that they would maybe do. We are perhaps going to see a Sim teleport strat from Rusha Rose as well. See if the Mei can perhaps stop that, or Chase Swanson can get the pickoffs with the Hanzo.
Well, Chase Sonic Arrowed that door, so if you're Tater-Pots, you should know now that there's a Sim, so be prepared for an immediate peel back if that teleporter does come straight to point, as you do see them taking this rotation.
But interesting first teleport here. They decided to teleport just to the room to the right of them. Instead of having to take all that poke damage, they're just going to go to the high ground right away. See, Tater-Pots, they're going to keep poking from the left side of the point here. That double shield will protect them quite a bit. Rusha Rose trying to throw in those turrets to get some damage there. Nova here at the window, trying to find what they can. Nice wall here from Feels Bad, and J-Rod actually went through the teleporter. Didn't really have the peel from the rest of the team, and does get taken down by Chase Swanson's Storm Arrows. You see a couple picks going in favor of Nova, however. Still a fight that's up in the air. In fact, Alexa Moiri getting a lot of value here on the Junkrat. Already almost up to tire 80%. Could be the fight flipper. Might not even need it as Feels Bad goes down to the goat. The goat finds 2. And it looks like Nova will eventually take this, with Chase Swanson falling.
Yeah, good slow push there by Nova. With that Sim doing the first stage telly and then just waiting for that to come off cooldown and dropping another one in behind. Did lose J-Rod early, but we're able to get some cleanup kills. Chicky got the immediate pick onto the Baptiste, and everything just kind of fell after that with no Immort or healing from the Bap, and you have those turrets acting as somewhat of a 7th man on there.
So we're going to see the teleport across the chasm. Feels Bad now is going to play the Pharah, so they do have that in play, and a massive shatter from Rigor Mortis, but a counterpin from J-Rod limits the follow-up of Chase Swanson, throws in the Dragon's finds 2, and it looks like Nova aren't really going to be able to find anything on this first push. In fact, it might be advantageous for them to maybe swap off the Sim.
Yeah, good dragons right there by Chase Swanson, kept them caught in that doorway, and was able to barrel through, and I can think it 2, maybe 3. Set up really by that shatter by Rigor Mortis, who's playing phenomenal in this Reinhardt tonight. Definitely trying to make some hero plays for his team and succeeding from in some parts here, but unfortunately just so far this game has not gone their way.
So here we go, here comes the teleport. They're going to teleport up to that archway. We're going to see Alexa Moiri able to take out Coach Preacher Dad right off the bat. No reds available. And Alexa Moiri gets taken out of tire by Chase Swanson. So the picks are definitely going back and forth, and spawn advantage might play a big part in this. But Rusha Rose and J-Rod finding both of the tanks, the Supercharger just doing so much work. Coach Preacher Dad able to get a sneaky res onto McBrantis. McBrantis going to try and use the bubbles to build as much charge as they can. But USF Chicky able to take out Feels Bad, and that will be it. A nice cap there from Nova. They have 3 minutes and 39 seconds in the time bank.
Yeah, definitely good pushes right there by Nova. Tater-Pots did a good job of stopping that initial steamroll, but Nova then came back with that sim ult, with a couple more, with that bongo coalescence, and were able to take that fairly quickly, leaving a good time bank for themselves with over 3.5 minutes left. So if you're Tater-Pots, you know you have to win this map to stay in contention to win the game and possibly keep your ticket to playoffs alive. So you have to set a blazing pace right here. You can't cap this in overtime, and I think you need to cap it with close time to feel good about the scenario. I don't think you can cap this with a minute left or something and realistically have a lot of faith in yourself to win the second go-round.
I know it's tough, because even if they capture point A, point B can be very tricky. Definitely one of the hardest point Bs to capture in the game. A lot of times we do see those overtime pushes kind of get stifled as they try and snowball onto that second point. So, I mean, if you're looking at them only getting point A, if they even get a time bank, I mean, you're looking at Nova having a good chance to just tie it by just taking point A themselves.
Yeah, if you're Nova here, you feel good. A tie wins this game for you. So, really kind of put yourselves heavy in the driver's seat here to win this map or win the series.
Chase Swanson back on the Genji. We are going to see Feels Bad play the Widow there. Had some great performances a couple weeks ago on the Widow, especially against C9. Here we go. Both teams with a pick-off onto each other's DPS. Chase Swanson still in here trying to find the picks, and Rigor Mortis on that Winston, able to take out both of the healers here, so this is a good start for Tater-Pots actually, as they are getting all the picks. Yusuf Chiki in trouble to try and get away, won't be able to, and that will actually be an even faster cap here for Tater-Pots. They're going to have about 6 minutes to be able to capture point B.
Yeah, big for them right there. So now inside of Tater-Pots, you either want to eco push this, or you want to play this slow to at least build up Blade to go into this, because I don't think you can dry push and think you're going to win this with no ults. It's a tough map here. This second point's very hard to steamroll and take.
We'll have to see. Organic Kale has the Coalescence, but with Coach Preacher Dad going down, yeah, this looks already like it is all over. Nova will be able to prevent the snowball, and Tater-Pots, they're going to have to back up for the time being and wait for Rigor Mortis and Coach Preacher Dad to come back here.
Yeah, and I don't know if you feels bad here if you want to switch off this Widow. I don't think Widow has the best sightlines here for second point, especially if you are running the pseudo dive type deal. It's going to be tough to do anything with it. Maybe a Doomfist, Tracer, or something like that to kind of go with this dive would be better suited for this point.
So Rigor Mortis trying to find that dive target. J-Rod finds a couple with the Shatter, but here comes Chase Swanson trying to use that Dragon Blade to get as many picks as they can. Goat able to drop Immortality Field to limit the damage. Ushiro is going to pop the attack visor, but it gets reflected, and the Goat is down. Look at this, the picks are going in favor of Tater-Pots, no doubt, helped by Coach Preacher Dad's great sound barrier. No ticks yet. Safety Foam still trying to contest here, and here comes Elixir Mori throwing in the tire. Goat also back on the Baptiste, and with Chase Swanson down, that's not a good start here. They don't even have a tick yet. Organic Hail not really able to find anything with the Coalescence. J-Rod not able to follow up on the Shatter either. Here comes Yusuf using the Supercharger. McBrantis trying to throw in the Diva Bomb, does find one and the Supercharger, so the fight is still up for grabs. Elixir Mori is so low on Organic Hail, and McBrant is able to take him out. Here comes the Immortality Field from the Goat, able to keep them alive for a little bit longer. Rusha Rose now is down. J-Rod, all these stall heroes coming out. Yusuf Chiki on the Wrecking Ball. They're going to try and stall for as long as they can, get as many picks as they can, but the picks aren't going in their favor. Safety Foam able to survive for a little bit longer here, but not until Organic Kale able to take him out. Here comes Elixir Mori trying to stay on the point for as long as they can. Rushiro is able to build up a Pulse Bomb. Not able to get anything. Feels bad. Once again taken out. That is definitely something that is hurting them in this long extended fight, and we already see Nova able to burn the clock enough to where Tater-Pots, they will have less time. They do get one tick. Two ticks is also here. McBrand was popping the Diva Bomb, and there it is. Tater-Pots able to finally capture the point, and with only 14 less seconds than Nova had on their attack. So this map is still certainly up for grabs.
Yeah, let's run Hanamura back right here. I do think that dive by Tater-Pots was very, very well coordinated. I do think that was a hero play by Chase Swanson right there to kind of initiate this point take on the second point. Actually deflected Tac Visor to killing 2 people on Nova while also getting, I believe, 2 from his Blade. So massive play here for him. Be interesting to see though if Tater-Pots decide to keep this dive or if they switch up to a brawl type comp, expecting Nova to expect the dive.
We'll have to see. It looks like we'll see the double shield once again coming out from Nova. I think That is definitely the plan that they had when they were drawing up comps for Hanamura. Double shield is just really strong overall on Hanamura. We might actually see a sim teleport strat here from Chase Swanson trying to catch Nova off guard, but it looks like Nova, they are gonna kind of set up near this point, maybe expecting that that is a possibility.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go about doing this push here of his. You do have 4 probably good pushes here on the side of Taters, as they do take this high TP up here.
Oh, and an anti-synergy there. Elixir accidentally walls off J-Rod. Actually, that maybe that was for his good, because he could have gotten bursted down right away. J-Rod did almost get bursted down anyway, but did get the healing. McBrantis, though, able to find the opening pick onto the goat. J-Rod able to find the trade, though, and the picks are going back in favor of Nova. So once again, just like on Nova's attack, we did see Tater-Pots able to get the initial pick, but Nova able to turn it around. J-Rod throwing in that shatter for good measure. And I don't think we're going to even see 3 fights here. This might be the final fight that Tater-Pots have to their name here.
And with that being said, if this does end up being final fight, probably a little bit probably not necessary there by J-Rod to shatter. Probably something you're wanting back for this fight, as you did have ult advantage on Rigor Mortis. Now you're both basically set even in the shatter battle.
But J-Rod finds the pin onto Feels Bad. Organic Hail trying to turn this around with the Coalescence, does find one. Will they be able to find anything else here? Safety Foam does pop the beat, but not able to save Elixir Mori. Remember, the attackers have the spawn advantage here. Look at the high charge that McBrantis is right there. Has already built up that Graviton Surge. Could use it here. Safety Foam is down, and this looks like it's falling apart for Nova here. Chase Swanson, both these beam characters getting so much value into this double shield. J-Rod gonna try and contest here. I don't know if that's a particularly good idea. He will fall. So there we go. Tater-Pots able to capture point A. Will they be able to snowball into point B here? They have the Graviton Surge. They're almost at a Death Blossom, and they're almost at a Shatter as well.
Yeah, you do have a lot of ults here coming up, really on both sides. It'll be interesting to see those. You do have one fight here for Tater-Pots, so how they go about doing this. You really can't play this slow and build more. You just kind of have to push as quickly as you can here.
Yep, Rigor Mortis trying to go aggressive. And look at this, a nice shatter and grab combo, but Lucia Rose able to find more value with the Death Blossom finds 2, and it looks like Nova, they have set a clear win condition for them. All they have to do is capture point A, and they will win this match and continue this nice winning streak that they're on. Tater-Pots, they're gonna have to get the full hold here in order to save this match.
Yeah, I mean, you do set up that win condition for Nova, but also there's one set up for, obviously, Tater-Pots as well. They just have to hold point 1. Definitely easier said than done in 2CP. Considerably easier said than done. But something they can do, I'm sure. Just have to be, I think, have to play a little more passive here. Maybe play something like a Mei or a Torb or something. It's going to give you a little bit more of a stall effect, as you do see them drop this double shield, I believe, for maybe the first time tonight. I don't know if they've ran it before. If they have, it was a very small amount on, like, Eichenwald Defense, possibly.
Yeah, I don't even think they were running that on Eichenwald Defense. I think this is the first time that we've seen this double shield, and they do not run it very often, so we'll have to see if they have continued to practice this double shield, and if they can come up clutch here and get the full hold in order to preserve this series, or if anything, get the draw and win map 4 to soften the blow of the map differential. Again, their map differential actually isn't too bad for what their record shows, so, you know, like we said, with Valhalla having a tough schedule, anything is, you know, still possible for this playoff race.
Yeah, you do see Nova looking like they're going to take the same kind of rotation they did in this first attack.
Yep, going with the sim teleport strat once again, but feels bad on that defensive sim. They are going to have maybe a bit of a tougher time getting onto that point and winning kind of that scrappy fight that they won last time. So here we go, another teleport here to the corner of the point. Nothing really comes of it yet, and Coach Preacher Dad though gets the environmental kill onto Rusha Rose, plus the headshot onto Alexa Mori, with the GOAT also falling off here. It looks like we will see Tater-Pots win this first team fight just as Nova did, but still just over a minute on the clock, and Coach Preacher Dad is actually down, so while he will get back fairly quickly, they actually do have the teleporter, so they will likely be able to get that 6v6 before Nova is able to attack, but still maybe they have a chance here to take a quick advantage.
Yeah, definitely Nova has an opening right here to do it, as they do quickly TP on the point though, or above point, for their last attack.
Gonna drop down, and J-Rod not able to find anything with the shatter, and Chase Swanson finds the double kill with the concussion mine. And we're either gonna need to see Nova turn this around quickly, or they're gonna need to back up or lose this fight quickly in order to have one more chance. They still have 30 seconds, good disengage here, and they were able to get Organic Kale's Coalescence out.
Yeah, but other than that, you really have no ults on the side of Nova coming up. They have their own Coalescence with GOAT, but you're also pushing into what's probably going to be a Riptire, I'm guessing, by Chase, so this fight goes prolonged, and Feels Bad's going to have that that Symbol.
So here we go, teleport this time up to that initial high ground. And there's the Gravitic Flux, and will Nova be able to touch? Yes, they barely will, but J-Rod is already down. Here comes Chase Swanson throwing in the tire, and that Supercharger is doing so much damage. This isn't looking good for Nova. Feels Bad gonna throw in the wall as well. Rusha Rose was able to find one, but that is a team kill. And Tater-Pots staying alive in this series.
Yeah, so Tater-Pots taking this map here will make it 2-1, so can't push to a map 5 here if they do win Dorado.
So this must have been, yeah, the end of Tater-Pots' second push here. Kind of interesting, could have accidentally have gotten walled off there by Alexa Mori, but did get the value they needed anyway, but sadly that play didn't matter as they weren't able to cap point A there, so Tater-Pots, you know, they are kind of staying alive here.
Yeah, definitely are keeping everything competitive as they can. Win this map 4 and push it to a 5 here, but they do need to come out strong here on Dorado, as I do believe they will be attacking first, so they'll need to set a pretty quick push to put some pressure here on Nova, who's still in the driver's seat of this game, as they just need to win this to win the series, and Tater-Pots has to win the next 2.
And of course, you know, we were mentioning earlier how much Tater-Pots have struggled on those control point maps. You know, even if they make it to map 5, they are going to have to get their first victory on a control map. So definitely going to be a tough task for Tater-Pots, but I think if there is a team that can do it, they can do it. They've had, you know, a lot of close games against great teams. They can certainly play up to their competition. They have that potential, especially with Chase Swanson Feels Bad here playing really well there on Hanamura.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you have Chase and Feels Bad as your DPS again, I think this open sideline map here plays in their favor quite a bit. As we will wait on swaps here from both sides, as you do still have, I think you have maybe one person who hasn't played yet for Tater-Pots, so curious if they will, Tater-Pots, curious if they play, and you do have obviously a couple spectators on both sides, so curious to see who the switches will end up being for both teams. As we do only get one switch here, as you have Bullet Dodgers come back in on DPS for Feels Bad, and then the rest of the lineup will stay the same.
We'll have to see. You would maybe imagine that Sidomia comes back in here to maybe be a little bit more flexible, can play that Sigma with Chicky if they want to run the double shield, or can play that Diva with J-Rod if they want to run the Rhine Diva. Definitely have seen a lot of interesting comps here on Dorado. It's definitely one of those maps that doesn't seem like it has a clear meta, to be honest.
Yeah, you can see almost anything here be successful on Dorado. Yeah, with what both these teams are running here, I would like to see Sidomia come back on and play a Sigma here. I think Sigma's in a very good spot, especially on these escort maps, with the mobility of his shield and the damage he can do. But I also could see a Diva pairing go really well here. But if Sidomia comes in, I would assume you'll keep J-Rod in, as that does appear to be their Reinhardt player. So yeah, be interesting to see if they decide to keep Chicky in here to allude to maybe more of an Orisa comp.
So we are kind of talking about how important this win is for Tater-Pots, as they need to get as many wins as they can here late in the season to make a playoff push. But it is equally as important from Nova, because unlike some of these other top teams like White Walkers, Diving Phoenix, C9, and Pizza Planet, who have nice cushions on their playoff spot right now, White Walkers have officially clinched their spot. Nova, they actually do not have the biggest cushion. They're actually only one game ahead of Valhalla here, and if Duck Duck Dive is able to pull off the upset on White Walkers and Nova loses here, then they're only one game out of being out of the playoffs. So certainly you want to see Nova continue this win streak, as they have looked like one of our better teams, but they did struggle right off the bat. They had a couple of tough games in their first map rotation against Pizza Planet and White Walkers that made them start off 0-2.
Yeah, and you do see the swaps come in here for side of Nova. You will have J-Rod and Sai, so you're expecting to see probably a Rhine Sigma or a Rhine Diva. You'll keep Rusha and AJ. Curious to see what that DPS line looks like. I'm assuming you'll have AJ back on that Ashe you typically see him on, and then Rusha possibly running a Junkrat again, something spam-wise. Then you will have Chicky and Elixir on the support line.
Interesting. That'll be a very interesting support line. Normally, we associate those two with being a DPS and a tank respectively, but kind of like we said, they have been flexing to that support role lately and actually have been pretty solid so far. It's been kind of nice. We haven't seen much of Talking Panda lately, kind of their main healer, I guess, along with Safety Foam, so it's good to see Elixir Mori and Yusuf Chicky kind of stepping up. Overall, I mentioned this in my podcast, but Yusuf Chicky definitely one of the most improved players. Was pretty good for the most part, but man, now has really come out, been one of the best Orisas in the league, has shown a very great Rhine as well. And you could argue Nova have one of the better tank trios, I guess, in the league, like tank lines in general, and to be able to flex to support at a moment's notice is got to be very valuable for this Nova team.
Yeah, I do think Nova's depth, I guess not as much depth, but flexibility in all roles really benefits them, as you do see players like Sidomia playing all three roles. I believe Lixa also can play all three roles. You have people like Chicky, who can bounce around between a couple of them. Like you said, Moonlight, who was one of their standout DPS, who had to switch to support, still being very, very good in support. So I think the small roster, but with the depth they have, is really, flexibility they have in each role is really something that should scare teams as they play Nova farther down the stretch. As we are just waiting on the final readies, as we do get them here from Nova, so we are good to go here on map 4 with Nova up 2-1 here in the series.
Traveling to Dorado.
Yes, so here we go. Once again, we will see Tater-Pots on the first attack here. We did see their attack on Eichenwald not go very well at all, but Dorado definitely a more attack-oriented map overall. You know, definitely can be tough. There are a couple tough spots, and that point C definitely has some tough corners to play, but overall we have seen most teams at least make it past point A and well into point B as well, so definitely a chance to do that and capture point C with a decent time bank, as we have seen several teams do so far this map rotation.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what, kind of like we alluded to on Eichenwald, that you do see a lot of meta changes between each point A, B, and C. Be curious to see, but if you are Tater-Pots here, you need to come out with your strongest thing out the bat here and just be aggressive. Try to set a good time here to hopefully put some pressure on Nova and force him at 5.
Interestingly, we see a double shield attack here from Tater-Pots. We are going to see a double hit scan here from AJ and Rusha Rose. That actually might be tough to play into with this double shield. Payload still moving. Most teams allow it to at least get past this first corner to the first stroke, but here's the drop from Nova. Okay, not really to find anything with that, but does find, that was actually Chase Walton. Apologies. He actually finds the opening pick here onto AJ. McBrant is trying to get aggressive on to J-Rod here, but J-Rod kind of staying in his ground. Sidomia trying to catch some of these flankers, but Chase Walton putting a lot of damage into him. Teamfight still relatively up for grabs, but Chase Walton finds another pick onto Rusha Rose. Sidomia able to take him out, but the damage might already be done. J-Rod though with a nice shatter knocks Organic Kale out of the Coalescence, and Elixir Mori is going to pop one of their own, and it looks like Nova, they're going to be able to turn this around here.
Yeah, good recontest there by Nova. Big shatter there by J-Rod. The only thing I have concern with here on the side of Nova is the lack of a shield break, as Soldier probably acting as your main shield break there into this double shield. I would like to see, possibly after Visor gets popped here, if you don't get a lot of value, possibly have Rusha switch off to that Junkrat that we saw on Eichenwald to maybe pressure the shield more here of Tater-Pots.
Oh no, and looks like we have AJ leaving the game.
Pause. Pause.
It's not pausing. It's not pausing.
Did we not press pause?
Is it L3?
This is awkward.
Oh, well, look at that. AJ actually rejoins right away.
No pause. Well, that's awkward. Well, I don't know. Do we still pause?
Oh my gosh, sorry.
You're fine.
Looks like they are officially back now, although they will likely have to give some extra space here to Tater-Pots. Rusha Rose taking quite a bit of damage here. Here we go, Sidomia throwing in the deep bomb, able to find one despite a good shield from McGrant, and a lot of damage. They're being taken from Tater-Pots, a lot of them are low. Organic Kale gonna pop another Coalescence here, try and keep them alive. It's gonna be interesting. Elixir Mori still has another Coalescence of their own. Yusuchiki on that Mercy has the Valkyrie ready. Elixir Mori getting relatively low, and here comes J-Rod trying to throw in the Shatter, but McGrant is using the Gravitic Flux to make sure he can't go in on that, but will get res by Yusuchiki. Has to give their life for it, so the trades are going back and forth. Nova continuing to back up because of this Bob. Bob is gone. AJ getting close to his Bob, unfortunately had to get his ult reset with accidentally leaving. So here we go, payload approaching point B. We're gonna have to see a contest here shortly, but with AJ going down, this is gonna be tough. Sidomia is gonna be able to touch, but Elixir Mori already down. Rusha Rose from the high ground though. Will they be able to find anything with attack visor? Good shield from McBrantis, but still able to find bullet dodgers. Bullet dodgers finds one with the tire, but it actually looks like, especially with the res that Yusuf Chiki gets here on J-Rod, that Nova will be able to stabilize here. So nice stabilization after a very interesting, you know, set of events that kind of happened there on point B.
Yeah, definitely good stabilization here by Nova on the stop right there at this very end of the second point here in Dorado, which is going to be super hard for Tater-Pots to push, as it does take so much time to actually get to this point itself. So it's really going to limit to maybe 3 or so good fights that Tater-Pots can have on this point here.
Yo, AJ throwing in the bomb. Good move from Coach Preacher Dad, but the Diva Bomb from Sidomia finds 4. That didn't even really need much of a setup. That was just perfect placement from Sidomia, and very well known for those great Diva Bombs. And yeah, here we go. Only about 90 seconds here for Tater-Pots. We do see a lot of teams, they have struggled to get this payload to the end of point B if they do end up falling while going through it.
Yeah, really good there by Sai. Caught Mac Brandis using the suck or whatever ability that Sigma has, not able to throw that shield out, and really benefited off that by having their Rissa back in spawn as well.
I believe that suck ability is called Kinetic Grasp.
Thank you.
But I may refer to it as suck ability from now on instead of Moira's primary fire. So here we go though. Picks one back and forth. Yusuf Chiki getting the res onto J-Rod. McBrantis building up another Graviton or Gravitic Flux, but not able to find anything. And J-Rod with the nice shatter. Rushiro's also committing the attack visor. Perhaps maybe a bit of an overcommitment here from Nova. But the result is still the same. They win the team fight, and we are probably in one team fight territory for Tater-Pots. They have to win this team fight, or this is all the further that the payload will get.
Yeah, you do have one more fight here. You see Rigor Mortis switch off to the Winston that he played very well, I believe, on Eichenwald to start. So curious to see if they look for a dive type deal to try and take this last point.
Chase Swanson actually on the flank throws in Bob to start off the fight. Finds a pick on the AJ that will get res, but Bob still causing a lot of pandemonium on the point. Now AJ has a chance to use their Bob, but AJ is so low. Sidomia, can he turn around with the Diva Bomb? Is able to find one, and J-Rod still swinging around here with a nice shatter. Chase Swanson though, can he get the picks? Able to find one on Rushiro is definitely a player you can call on to come up clutch in these situations, but does get taken out by the damage orb, and it looks like Nova will be able to stop the payload here, so the win condition for both teams is clear. Capture point B for Nova, they win the series, stop them before that, and the Tater-Pots, they will go to map 5.
Yeah, so good here, push by Tater-Pots. Unfortunately, a lot of teams do get hung up here on this last point of Streets phase. It's a tough spot to get if you don't take it on the first push, so you do have to expend so much time to get to that spot again to try to retake it. So you do have these win conditions set up for both sides. Nova here has to be feeling pretty good about it. They did recontest that point very well, so they just need to have a good, solid, clean push here to solidify this win 3-1.
So we're gonna see, looks like we are gonna see once again the double shield coming out from Rigor Mortis and McBrantis. I actually think they showed some nice things with that double shield. McBrantis actually building up Gravitic Fluxes relatively quickly. You know, this could be a comp that if they're able to defend here, and if they are able to pull out the reverse sweep and win on map 5, you know, that could be something that they look to in later matches. You know, they won't have to keep running that Ryan Zarya, which certainly can be good, but is also very one note and maybe even a little bit easily counterable right now in this current meta, whereas double shield is definitely a little bit tougher to counter right now.
Yeah, as you do, I did like seeing the Rigor Mortis on that Reinhardt earlier. Played very, very well. So be curious to see if they do get this first fight lost. If you do have Rigor Mortis switch off to that Reinhardt, it seemed to be more of their comfort pick.
Chase Swanson actually on the defense torp here, able to take out US of Chicky, and the picks are definitely going in favor of Tater-Pots right now. Shiro's and Elixamori down, and they're going aggressive on J-Rod. He will fall as well. Zydomia and AJ incredibly low as well. I don't know if either of them are going to escape with their lives. They won't, so pretty successful first team fight here from Tater-Pots. May probably even have time to get back up to that high ground.
Yeah, great first fight here. Got some decent ult charge built up for them. You do see some switches on the side of Nova here as you see that Hanzo come out for Rusha.
Maybe they get some more of that shield break, and there it is. More shield is down. It's irreplaceable though, and Bullet Dodgers finding the opening pick onto Elixamori. That's another nice opening pick. Gonna have to force out the rest from Yusuf Chicky. Zydomia actually escorting the payload here, gonna force Tater-Pots to drop down here and contest, and McBrantis finds the pick on the Zydomia. Both of the tanks on the side of Nova are down, and once again, we're gonna need to see Nova back it up again. Struggling so far here on point A of Dorado.
Yeah, I do like the switch here though by AJ to go to the Pharah, as we do have the other stream team account joining. Hi, other stream team account. As you do see the switch to the Pharah here. Really strong, especially with the Torture being the main counter for the Pharah in the sky.
So here we go, Bullet Dodgers throwing in the tire, gets 3 and shuts down another team fight from Nova. It already wasn't looking good right off the bat with Chase Swanson finding some picks, but here we go, Nova kinda crumbling right before our eyes. Really starting to feel the momentum swing in favor of Tater-Pots right now.
Yeah, Tater-Pots looking really strong here to make a good hold, but as you see AJ creeping ever so closely to that barrage here with no other hit scan besides Torb Turret, that barrage could go pretty free as you don't have a defensive ult on the side of Tater-Pots to counteract it either.
So here we go, Zydomia trying to find cleave damage to build up that primal, but gets taken down. Here comes Rusha throwing in the dragons to perhaps zone them out, continuing moving this payload through the choke, but that's only one part of the equation. Rigamortis throwing in the supercharger, but a nice shatter from J-Rod. I don't know if the follow-up's going to be there. In fact, Coach Preacher Dad throws down the Immortality Field, but that forces, obviously, that Immortality Field to not be there for AJ's barrage, so he finds 2, but Bullet Dodger's still alive here. Look, he's literally 1 to the right. Zydomia takes him out, and with the res onto J-Rod, it does look like Nova, they just need to take out Rigamortis and KO here, and they will be able to capture point A, but they've only got, you know, less than 3 minutes to get it through this tricky point B.
Yeah, and if you're Nova here, I think you have to play pretty aggressive, try to get as many fights out of this as you can, and hopefully one of them's a breakthrough here, as you do see them getting it pretty far here on this second point, but you do have a couple ults getting close here. You have J-Rod almost back to that shatter inside, creeping pretty close to that bomb for Nova, but on the side of the Tater-Pots, you have almost both tank ults up and a Riptire from Bullet, which he's going to use right now.
Yep, they're gonna pair it with the Gravitic Flux. Not really gonna find anything except for Zydomia's mech. In fact, AJ finds the pick on the Coach Preacher Dad, so we may see the reds out from this Chicky onto J-Rod here. AJ still causing some havoc up from afar. Ooh, nice accretion there from McBrantis. Rigamortis is so low. Not gonna survive. AJ continuing to pelt Tater-Pots with rockets, and while they're distracted, J-Rod throws down the Earth Shatter, and here we go. Nova starting to gain that momentum back. They are not escorting the payload, however.
No one's pushing cart.
Cause them to they really are not pushing this. This is not good from Nova, as they could have had a last fight, team fight territory here. And look at this, after about 30 seconds, we finally see Elixamori starting to push this payload. And oh man, if that ends up costing them the map, that would be a heartbreaker.
Yeah, miscue right there. Nobody pushing payload is really gonna come back to bite them, it seems.
But you do have both DPS ults used right
yeah,
here.
Here we go. Rusharos was on the flank on that high ground. Nice tactical visor. Had AJ kind of distract Tater-Pots with the barrage, and it looks like that slight C9 won't matter, as we will see Nova able to take this series, but man, was it close.
Yeah, kind of like, I feel bad for saying this, we've been echoing it all night, but kind of like what we said about Tater-Pots, score does not really reflect how close this game was. It is a 3-1 for Nova here in the win against Tater-Pots, but definitely massive plays for Tater-Pots, where just if a couple things go different ways, definitely winnable game for them. I think the only map that we saw today that was out of reach for Tater-Pots was that Eichenwald. I think Eichenwald was definitely Nova one-sided, but other than that, I mean, Dorado, very close.
You're really talking about, you know, even on Nepal, I mean, we were one team fight away from that being the side of Tater-Pots too. I mean, literally, we are talking about, you know, maybe like just 2 or 3 mistakes kind of costing Tater-Pots at least a map 5, and that has felt like the story of their season so far. So close, but they just can't quite get the map victories to translate into match victories. But still, we have the MVP discussion to talk about, and this is actually kind of tricky. I think we see a lot of players today play well, but I think for DPS, I think the clear standout was AJ. You know, he's actually been fairly quiet since starting off the season really well, but that was a great performance. Played an exceptional Ashe there on Eichenwald, brought out the Pharah there. Took a little bit for it to work, but once it was working on Dorado there, I mean, they were borderline unstoppable.
Yeah.
As for... Yeah,
no, go ahead. Keep going.
I was gonna say, as for support, I definitely think that Safety Foam really played incredibly well. Had some great plays. We saw that. I think they had, what was it? That great play on Nepal where they were able to get like a boop.
Yeah, they got a boop. They did. I think it was maybe a double boop and then a kill off of Nepal. It was something, but no, I agree. Safety Foam, I think, was a massive standout on support here for Nova tonight. Has been a massive standout for them pretty consistently in all their games, though. Definitely one of the better Lucios in Tier 3 for sure.
Oh yeah, and that's gone as far back as I think even Season 1. I think Safety Foam is a veteran all the way back to Season 1, and even then they were great on that passive-aggressive Raptors team that almost won the championship. So I'm definitely thinking Safety Foam. And then for Tater-Pots, I actually did like the tank play here from both Rigamortus and McBrantis. I am leaning a little bit towards McBrantis, though. He played an excellent Zarya, so many maps where he was incredibly high charge and able to win fights almost by himself. And then they're on Sigma, building up Gravitic Fluxes like they're nothing. Getting so much value out of that double shield, even having some nice shield placement to take the sightlines off of AJ or Rusha Rose. So definitely, I think McBrantis was the standout player there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love the tank line for Tater-Pots. I do think Rigamortus really excelled on the Reinhardt today. Had numerous shatters blocked by him. Played extremely well. McBrantis did excel at the Zarya and the Sigma both. Unfortunately, a couple team fights didn't go their way, so the game didn't go their way, but definitely played really well. But obviously, with McBrantis looking like the MVP for tank, you have to give some acknowledgement there to Sidomia on the side of Nova. Definitely played a very good D.Va today. Would have liked to seen more D.Va out of him, or maybe some more Sigma. Played Zarya there on Dorado for a bit. I don't think that was in his wheelhouse, or they just wasn't ready. It wasn't fitting that comp well, but his D.Va was phenomenal today. Sigma did very well, but you did see some really good things set up by him on his off-tank play as well.
So yeah, are we going with that? AJ, safety foam, McBrantis?
That perfect with me.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Do we have any objections in the chat? Doesn't look like it. So yeah, I think that's where we will end it for tonight. So thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We have some games these next couple of days as well, so keep your eyes peeled. Should be some more excellent matches. Let's see. Let's go to game time so I make sure I get it right. Yes, tomorrow we have Corgi Core versus We The Ops. We The Ops hoping to get off that losing streak they're on right now, Tier 2. NA Alt Management versus Tater-Pots. Tater-Pots also kind of struggling right now in Tier 2. Could use a win there to get them back. Hopefully make a playoff push at the end of the season. We also have on Sunday Diving Phoenix versus Cosmic Onyx. I will be commentating that with Zanny Boy. There will also be one more Tier 3 aim, Duck Duck Dive versus White Walkers. I don't think that game has been scheduled yet though, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Other than that, I've been Mr. Gaming Kirby, Toaster, and Kuro on the cast. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, thanks guys.